the beautiful mountains here. So pretty. I just did a live translation event service, which was apparently it was being sketchy in and out, but declarations. And now I'm just going to do a walk and talk with my dog service. And it's no casual service, these walk and talks though. God is in the business of meeting us powerfully. One of the things he's taught me is as long as our heart is focused and our mind is centered on him, he will meet us powerfully wherever we are. Did you know that? Did you know that he will meet you powerfully wherever you are? And I know people have, and I used to have this religious spirit that I used to think, okay, you're only going to meet me powerful if I'm fasting, praying, and hi, Stevie, hi, Lana. Much better signal, right? I used to have this religious spirit too that, oh, you're only going to meet me powerful if I'm fasting and praying, or if I'm, but not if I'm at a ball game or at a grocery store. You're not going to meet me powerful if I'm doing anything other than sitting with my eyes shut. And so the Lord taught me different. In fact, he instructed me years ago. He said, get out of your prayer closet and bring me everywhere you go. He said, and you know why he told me that? Because he said, and now don't have a religious spirit and think that you shouldn't be in a prayer closet if that's where he has you, because he had me in a prayer closet for over 20 years. But Marty, come here. Hold on. His ear went up, so I wanted to make sure there was no coyote up there. Okay, go ahead. So what he told me was, he said, Judy, take me out of your prayer closet. I want to go everywhere you go. Because he told me specifically, for me, he said, here's the problem. When you're in your prayer closet, everything's perfectly fine. And you're happy, and you trust me, and all is well. And he said, the minute you go out of that prayer closet, you're back into worrying and all of that. Now, the thing that I have battled is worry and fear, because I suddenly became a single mom. Me, someone who didn't even want to be a mom in the first place because of my horrible upbringing. So the worst thing that I had feared came upon me. And so I was just literally my prayer closet, everything was fine. I totally trusted him. But as soon as I opened that closet and went back in the reality of my life, of trying to figure out how I was going to support my family, homeschool, and be a stay-at-home mom, and be single. Because the Lord told me to not put my son in public school, even though I was a public school teacher my whole life. And so I was trying to figure all that out. It was very stressful. And it was hard. And so insert your challenge. Whatever your challenge is, insert it, because I'm not the only one. When I give these messages, I'm talking to you. I'm not just giving cute little stories to cheer people up. So that's what the Lord had me doing. He said, get me out of your prayer closet and take me everywhere with you. Take me everywhere with you. I want to go everywhere with you. Oh, brasondra diriaki. Oh, rasondra. And so I did. And I started taking him everywhere. Everywhere. Took him everywhere. And it was weird. It was an adjustment. I thought he wasn't listening. I couldn't feel him like I could feel him when I was in my worship in my closet, because I had this very strict routine. I would worship, and I would literally be in a literal closet, okay? And I would worship, and I would pray, and I would speak in tongues, and I was literally God's freaking hero, okay? But when he said, take me out of your prayer closet and I want to go everywhere with you, and he said, the problem with your prayer closet is confined me, you've confined me to your prayer closet. So when you get out of there, you think you have to face the world on your own. And that's a problem. So now the only solution is to get you out of your prayer closet. So my whole routines of worshiping and praying in tongues, all of that ended, and it was very insecure for me. Keep going, Marty. It was at Costco or wherever I was shopping, okay? And so when I was doing that, I still did two different things at once. Okay, but that's what he told me to do. And I got used to it. See, a lot of people think it's not God if he tells you to do something and you don't feel him. You're like, oh, maybe I was wrong. I didn't hear right. I knew I heard right. He told me so clear that day. He goes, I want you to come out of your prayer closet and I want you to worship me by not worrying. He said, worship me by not worrying. That's a form of worship. Okay, so here I am, worshiping him without worrying. Look at how beautiful it is. Woo! And so I obeyed my dad. I obeyed my daddy. And I started worshiping him through obedience and not worrying. So it took me months until I finally felt his presence while I was cooking and doing all this busy work. And I'm going to call it busy work. Because, I mean, I was busy. Come on. Raise your hand if you've ever been a single mom. Let me raise my hand. Listen, you tell me that you have a moment to sit down. And I only had one kid. So I do kudos to all the single moms with more than one. And single dads, too. This goes to single moms and single dads. So, and we walk. This channel is a rapture channel. It's everything rapture. This is what we're consumed with. This is what he has called us to do, to herald his return, to prepare ye the way of the Lord. That is what we're doing here. That is what this channel is. It is everything rapture. It's everything rapture. And you might be wondering, Judy, what does this message have to do with the rapture? Well, let me tell you what this message has to do with the rapture and us leaving today and our departure and Jesus coming to rapture his bride off the face of the earth. How do you like that sunrise right there? Woo! Let me tell you what it has to do with it. Because every act of our obedience brings us a step closer to our groom. I am here preparing the way, like John, one of the honored and treasured few people on earth, treasured by the Lord, to be able to have the honor of preparing the way for him. Okay? And believe me, I don't take it lightly. I know how blessed I am to be able to do this. I can't believe he called me to do it. And so because I obeyed 20 years ago when he told me to worship, or 16 years ago when he said, take me out of your prayer closet. See, I've known him for over 30 years, but 16 years ago, and he told me to take him out of my prayer closet, or was it 14 years ago? And he said, worship me by not worrying, and I want you to never put me in this closet again. So all of my prayer, all of my worship, look at the deer. There they go. Bye, guys. Do you guys see the beautiful deer? Oh, I'm going to scroll in. Oh, they're so pretty. Thank you for not being in front of my vehicle when I'm driving. Okay, I tried to scroll in so you guys could see them, and because of that one act of obedience, and it was weird. It was weird. I'm going to tell you right now, when you start obeying what the Lord tells you to do, I think there's this religious spirit that says if the Lord said it, then everything's going to go perfect. No. Worshiping him outside of that prayer closet was so awkward for months. Because I clean that I had been doing for over 20 years. So let me tell you. But that obedience pleased him, and I kept pressing through, pushing through, doing what he said. I even went back into the prayer closet because I missed it, and I could just feel him saying, "What are you doing here? I told you to get out of here." So what did I do? I got out of it. I got out of it. I up and went. Bye, prayer closet. Sorry, Lord, you told me not to come back here. And so when I was worshiping the Lord through worship, through not worrying, with my eyes open, at the grocery store, while I'm cooking, while I'm changing diapers, while I'm playing with my son at the park, while I'm at work, all this stuff, I started to settle into a routine, and this routine, oh my goodness, let me tell you what this routine did for me. This routine taught me to walk by faith, not by sight, because none of my problems went away. All the things that I was worried about, I had to deal with, and they were still there. But I was walking in obedience, and the hardest thing was I couldn't feel them, because I was outside of a prayer closet, my comfort zone. So now he's telling me to worship him by not worrying, but he took away my one method to not worry. He took away my prayer closet and put me out in the world and said, "Now take me everywhere you want to go." Oh my goodness. So I'm like struggling, but I'm staying in obedience. And then I tried to go back into that place of the prayer closet, and that's like a dog returning to its vomit. If the Lord tells you to do something and then you do it and then you go back, that's vomit. Don't do that. But, a religious spirit says, "What? It's a prayer closet. No big deal." Oh, isn't this pretty? Now I'm in the woods. I'm in the shaded woods. So what does this have to do with the rapture? It has everything to do with the rapture, because God watched my obedience 16 years ago. He watched my obedience 25 years ago. He was watching me. And the Lord is going to and fro on the earth right now. And he's watching. He's looking down and he's watching. He's watching. I'm camping, so I look a little crazy. Haven't brushed my hair, but that's okay. And it's all white now. Woohoo! When you guys first saw me in 2013, it was blonde. But now I have Moses hair. Anyway. He was watching me. My obedience cost me something. My obedience hurt. My obedience was scary. My obedience didn't make sense. But can I just tell you, after months and months of obeying him and taking him out of my prayer closet and just bringing him everywhere with me and praying with my eyes wide open and just pretending he was right with me, because he was, but I wasn't allowed to shut my eyes and go in a prayer closet and turn up worship music really loud, because what I would do is I was drowning out the fear, but I wasn't dealing with the fear. When I would turn up my worship music, I was drowning out the worry. My worship music was drowning out what the Lord God Almighty wanted to do. He wanted to speak, but I couldn't hear because I was too busy employing my methods to make myself better. Come on, somebody. That's what I was doing, but I didn't know I was doing it. And that's the mercy of the Lord. He saw my heart. He saw my heart. Yes, this is the live translation event service. Sorry, I didn't put that on the title because I'm out camping. So yeah, if anyone's in the chat room, I guess I technically shouldn't be kicking them out. So forgive me. But it is a live translation event service. I just didn't label it. Sorry. Yes, Stevie, we can pray for the woman in the chat room if you want to pray for her in the chat room. If anyone else hops on too, I guess, because I didn't title it LTE, so they're not wrong for showing up. So God bless everyone that's showing up. We will pray for you. We will bless you if you show up. So anyway, what does this have to do with the rapture? Jesus is coming today. And after months and months of obeying him, taking him out of my prayer closet, doing everything with my eyes wide open, I realized that he was teaching me what him and the Lord, what Jesus and the Father did while he was on earth. They just walked hand in hand naturally. They just walked hand in hand. Very few times did Jesus, go into a prayer closet. He just worshiped and openly with the Lord. Now, when he started his earthly ministry, we know that he took time to get away from the crowd, but that wasn't a prayer closet. That's different. But see, what happened is, come on, Marty. God was teaching me intimacy, fellowship, 24/7, hand in hand. So I don't relegate him to a time where I shut my eyes and pray over my food. I don't relegate him to a time of worship and tongues. He's with us 24. He's with me on this walk just as powerfully as if I was reading my Bible in the van with my eyes shut praying. His spirit is just as powerful, but it took me years to learn this because what happened was after months and months of obeying him and really missing my prayer closet, missing my routine, missing his strong presence, after years and years, no, I'm going to say months and months, it might have gone into a year, but his presence started to meet me. I think it did go into years, but he gave me some breaks and met me like a few months later, and he would do things and touch me that really encouraged me to keep going. But for the most part, he was elusive. For the most part, he wasn't right there like he used to be in the prayer closet. But I was trusting him because I knew I was on the right path because I could feel him. And when I did have the encounters where I could feel him with my eyes wide open while I'm grocery shopping, homeschooling, working, teaching, on my second marriage, yada, yada. When I was doing that, every now and then God would throw me a bone. But he was making me mostly go by faith. And this is Judy, this is a rapture channel, right? He's coming today. Yes, he's coming today. But why is this important on a rapture channel to give this message? Because this is the essence of why we're getting raptured, because we are in fellowship, communion, obedience with the Lord. A lot of people are looking for his presence, but they didn't do the last thing he told them to do. And he's like, well, I'm not going to meet you until you go do that last thing. See, if I tried to say, well, I don't want to do this thing where I want to go back into my prayer closet. I don't want to do that. I would have been really shooting myself in the foot because that's disobedience. Well, let me tell you, years later of this practice of just worshiping the Lord by not worrying and being in his presence 24/7, no religious routine, just being in his presence, 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 taking him to the ball game, taking him to the grocery store, worshiping him with my eyes wide open, praying in tongues while I'm driving and singing to the Lord while I'm cooking, and nothing in a prayer closet. His presence started meeting me as if I was in a prayer closet. And then one day God told me, Judy, he said, this is how the Father and I connected on earth. We were just with each other hand in hand every day, day and night. There was no religious rut. He was with me when I was doing my carpentry work. He was with me when I was fellowshipping with people. He was with me when I was eating, and Jesus began to teach me that. He goes, now you're learning to walk like the Father. And I did when I was on earth. So this was the highest call for me to learn this. And because of that one act of obedience, I'm sure there were many more, but it was the ripple effect of preparing the way. He fell on my son years later, because he was watching me. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy not feeling his presence. It wasn't easy being a single mom and trying to obey the Lord and homeschool and keep my kid out of public school. I'm always trying to find babysitters. I'm having to pay people cash every day trying to figure it all out. But God helped me. And my son never saw a private school and a public school, and he never saw. What I mean is, I'm not trying to act like I'm better than anyone, because some of you, he does have your children in public school. But for me specifically, for the calling on my son's life and what God had for me, it was not allowed. Okay? It was not allowed. So, God bless everyone. So, preparing the way is all about obedience. And so many people, they want to prepare the way. They want to do all these great things for God, but they won't go back and do the last thing of active obedience. They won't. How are you going to do something great for God if you won't even obey him in something little? Okay? How? It's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. But, as human beings, we're always looking for an easy way out. It's just the human condition. That's why I'm preaching on this, because the Lord wants to, some of you are listening, and he wants you to know that he understands your human condition, and he loves you, and he has great empathy for our human condition. Why do you think he gives us so many breaks? He has great empathy for our human condition. He does. He has great empathy. So he's with us. He cares. But, God is no wimp, and he doesn't feel sorry for us because he knows he's creating giants. Okay? He knows that. He knows he's trying to make us heroes of faith. So, you got to do the hard stuff. There's no shortcuts, but I tried to take shortcuts everywhere there was one. And in my brain, I'm like, cut me a break. I'm a single mom. Cut me a break. Cut me a break. Well, the minute you quit saying cut me a break is when you're going to have your breakthrough. That you're going to just go through hard stuff. The minute you determine, I'm going to go through hard stuff, I'm going to trust the Lord, and I'm going to please press my groom. The minute you start doing that, I'm trying to give you guys a beautiful view while I'm walking. Isn't that gorgeous, the sunrise? The Lord told me to get a new phone plan with unlimited data. It works really well. I had just here in the woods, and so sorry for spotty connection, but if you go back and listen to it, it'll work. So that's my message this morning, is obedience is key. So some of you, God has really good things for you to do before he gets here, because we're still here. He's coming today, but he has some things that he wants to bless you with, but he can't until you do the last thing, or you just get on the bandwagon of obedience and quit doing 3 of the things. I'm talking to the bride with a broken wing right now. I'm talking to the bride with a broken wing. I'm talking because you're still getting raptured, but the bride with the broken wing is broken, and God wants to make you whole. And that's why he told me to do these series of messages to the bride with the broken wing. I asked the Lord, are my wings broken? He said, no, you allowed me to make you whole. But I'm not perfect. We're all broken in some areas until we see him face to face. But I have a measure of wholeness in me that is very strong, and that's why I'm able to help you. See, if I didn't have this measure of wholeness, I'm going to let him off the leash because we're down here by the water. If I didn't have this measure of wholeness, I would not be able to minister to you this morning. Okay, and so bride with the broken wing, the Lord has better plans for you while we're here. Okay, he has better plans for you, and you just can't seem to it's beautiful. You just can't seem to believe that because of your circumstances. But Marty, let's go this way. But believe you me, he wants to open doors and open paths for you that you could have never imagined. But, your obedience is required. So listen, bride with the broken wing, it's never too late as long as you're breathing. Now, it will be too late. Sorry, I just had to climb that fence. Now, it will be too late for some things. You know, if you know, some things you're going to miss out on because of your disobedience. But God doesn't sit there with a hammer and go, okay, because you disobeyed, you don't get to do this, this, and this, and this, and I'm so mad at you. He says, well, you missed your opportunity for this one thing, but I have more things for you while you're here. You know? And that's the God of hope and of second chances that we serve, where he wants to open up avenues for you, bride with a broken wing. And I can only preach this because these are the muddy flats. So pretty. I can only preach this because I lived for years with a broken wing, trying to find an easy shortcut, because life's hard and that's human nature. So I only obeyed certain things. I obeyed only some of the things I wanted to do. The other things I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That does not sound like something I want to do. You know? So I just want to encourage you, bride listening, fellow preparing the way bride, because there's 600 worldwide preparing the way with us. And there's only the tribe of 5 doing it right here because that's what the Lord told us. He told us to do it like this. Oh, Marty's excited. He's running. He loves him some water. You love the beach, don't you, Marty? Run. 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 So God bless everyone. Yes, the rapture is today. Yes, he's coming. But while I love when he does this. Run, Mama. Oh, you're so cute. He's so excited. Go. Come on. Let's run to the beach. Come on. I forgot to bring his water, but it's beautiful. It's cool. Oh, razón de la shin diría aquí. Mama, you want to keep running? Hold on. I think I have a tick on me. No? Okay. I pulled off lots of ticks off of Marty and myself. Lots of ticks out. I do have Marty on tick medicine. Oh, but anyway. So, oh, Lord, it's so nice being in a stream where there's no alligators. I spent so much time in Florida, and if I saw a body of water, I had to run away. But now I can just go right up to it and say, hello, ducky. And I don't have to. Now, not that I was worried. I love alligators, and I support gators, things that helped the alligators stay alive and build their habitat. But can I just tell you, there's no place like beautiful California. I'm just going to say that. I went across America 10 times, and I'm going to give you my... Colorado comes in 4th. California, Utah, Nevada, Colorado. Yeah, even prettier than Colorado. It's just more diverse here because you've got the oceans, you've got these salt flats, and then you still have redwoods and high mountains like Colorado. But see, Colorado just has those high mountains. There's no beaches. So yeah, that's my travel opinion. The most beautiful place to visit in the whole of the United States is California first, then Utah, because nothing gets better than Mount Zion. Then Nevada, because it's so diverse, because who doesn't want to go to Las Vegas and then at the same time go to some beautiful hiking? There's something called Mount Charleston, and there's Red Rock Canyon, and there's just so many beautiful things in Nevada. There's Lake Tahoe, which is nothing's prettier than Lake Tahoe. And then we've got Colorado after that. Okay, so anyway. God bless everyone. I just wanted to encourage you to just keep moving forward in obedience. Obedience is not always going to feel good to your flesh, but it will reap a great harvest. And years later, I was called because of my continued obedience. I wasn't just randomly called to do what I'm doing. And I wasn't randomly called to walk in this wholeness and this beauty and this perfection. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it is well with my soul. This is wholeness. This is wholeness. This is wholeness. And, but it wasn't just like God put it on me on accident. It was his response to my obedience. And there's no shortcuts, guys. So listen, bride, listen. This message is to the entire bride, but it's really focusing on the bride with a broken wing. Let the Lord mend you. Let him get you in a place of power, perfection, and beauty. You're welcome, Stevie. I love you. My obedience last night was the Lord told me, I want you to go camping. Well, guess what? I was tired. I have been taking care of things, and I have been on many projects concerning them. And I was tired because the day before yesterday, I had a big barbecue for 2 brides with broken wings, and it got me tired. Or was it, yeah, day before yesterday. I don't know, the days all blend in. So, I was tired. And then he said, no, I want you to go Friday. I'm going to take you out into the wilderness, close by home. I didn't have to drive. That's the other thing about California. You don't have to drive far to be in this kind of beauty. It's basically in my backyard. And so I obeyed. But I even called my tribe and I was like, guys, I don't really want to do this. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And but I obeyed. I said, Lord, can I do it tomorrow? He said, no, today. Do you see? It's the little things, but they're big to the Lord. The little things are big to the Lord because how's he going to trust you with kingdoms and ruling over nations in the next realm? How's he going to trust you to help anyone if you won't even obey him and help yourself? But I'm so glad I obeyed because let me tell you, I had the best sleep last night. I had the best time. I did not get to my campsite until like 5:30. Okay? Because that's how busy my day was. But I had time to hike before the sun went down. I had time to, you can't do campfires. But let me tell you, I had time to just recreate and have fun. Okay? And then I went to bed. I obeyed. And so God is watching us. Yes, Julie, I pray for you for hope and a second chance. You guys put my email in the comment section for her. You can email me privately and I'll be praying for you, and we're praying for you right now. But yes, God gives everyone hope and a second chance. Some of the things that he promised you may not happen because of whatever circumstances. But when he says hope and a second chance, there'll be new things. Sometimes we forfeit stuff that we could have had if we obeyed. But you think that God's going to hang that over your head? Well, you didn't obey, so you don't get this. No, he's going to just say, all right, I have new things for you. He's just going to say, all right, I have new things. Hold on, let me get water. I found something for Marty. Here, Marty, I found some water for you. At this park. Come here. You want some water? Here, Mama. This is so cool. Here, Marty. He's going to be so excited because I forgot his water bottle. Here you go. Want some water? Marty, want some water? There you go. He thinks I'm going to pour it on him. Oh, he got water. See? God knew my dog needed a cup of cold water, and he provided because silly me forgot my backpack. I never leave the van without Marty's water because he's a little dog, and he gets heat stroke real easy, even though it's beautiful morning. Okay, you good? All right. So, Gonna put this back. Boo. But God has new adventures for you. Now, I'm not saying he won't restore old, it can still happen. But it might not be on the table anymore. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have new things that'll satisfy you just as much, because he's a God of restoration if you repent for disobedience. There's no shortcuts. Everybody wants God to throw them a life. This is the true gospel. Everybody wants God to throw them a life jacket when they're drowning, but as soon as they get the life jacket, they forget all about him again. This is the truth of the human condition. I know I can preach on this because that's the story of my life. Help me, help me. Okay, I'm good. All right, thanks, you can go away now. Help me, help me. Oh, okay, I'm good. Thanks, you can go away now. Help me, I'm good. Oh no, thanks, you can go away now. It's wretched, isn't it? But once he makes us aware of that condition, we can face it head on and change. Isn't he good? He's the God of second chances. He's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's yesterday, today, and forever. And so there's always hope. There's always hope. Come on, Mr. McFly, let's get back to the car. So, this message is also to the ones preparing the way. And this message is for everyone. This way, Marty. We're going to go this way. Come on, baby. My dog is so smart. He knew that was the wrong way. Something in him knew. This is wrong. So, oh Lord, we love you. You're so good, Lord. Oh, Jesus, mighty Jehovah God, God the Son, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. You mend our broken wings. And whew. Lord, I pray for everyone listening that you get them good. You bring them into deeper intimacy with you. Now I'm going to end the service with a testimony of my intimacy with Christ to encourage you to go deeper with him and more intimate with him than you were yesterday or an hour ago. Did you know that that's God's whole goal? Is to get you more connected with him today, this moment, than you were even an hour ago. Did you know that's his goal? Marty, did you know that's his goal? Yeah. Marty, is that God's goal? Yeah. Marty, come here. Let me put your leash on. Okay, let's go. We're about to cross a road here. So, I'm going to give you guys a testimony last night. This is my intimacy with Christ and how much he loves me and blesses me and is with me. He said, I want you to go camping. And I'm like, okay, first of all, this is California. Have you forgotten where you told me to go? I was born and raised here, and ain't no one going to have a campsite for you open. It's not like I'm in Florida or South Carolina or even Colorado where you can find campsites. This is perfect weather, California, and I'm never going to find a campsite. So I went online, and just as I suspected, nothing was open. Okay, well, this is how good the Lord is. I obeyed, because then I thought, oh, good, this is my out. I don't have to go to this stupid thing. I can go tomorrow. I thought I got out of it. Because I just told the Lord I was tired. I said, I'm a morning person. Can we do this tomorrow morning? And he was like, nope. So I obeyed. So I'm all, well, look, there's no campsites. Guess we're not going. Well, I can easily, with the van, do dry camping and boondocking and everything, because it's a cargo van and I bought a generator and different things. So I don't need electricity. I have it self-contained. It's not an RV, but I've fixed it up enough to be able to boondock and stuff like that. So I'm like, Lord. And so parking, lo and behold, somebody answered. An experience. So this is fun. This is fun stuff. So it's fun not to just have someone preaching at you, but then to bring you into their personal life. That's what I'm doing right now. So a lady answered the phone. She goes, oh, We have 2 primitive spots open. Primitive means there's no electricity, and I don't need that. And there's no toilets, I don't need that. I've got all this portable stuff. So she told me, she said, yeah, there's no, and I said, oh, perfect. She goes, now I have 2 spots left, but I can't promise you that those 2 spots are not going to be open when you get here. Because I said, I'll be there in 30 minutes or maybe even 20, honestly. And she said, well, you know, I can't promise it. So I showed up 10 minutes before the Rangers were going to leave and close the gate. And she said, I'm sorry, there's no spots. But because I was so gracious, because I walk in the Spirit and I treat people well, and I was kind and joyful and happy, I didn't even realize I was being that way, because that's just how I am. Hi. Oh, there's no spots? Okay. Oh, well, bummer. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And she was like, you know what? Hold on. I went, what? And she went, hold on. She goes, you are so nice. I said, what? And she goes, I'm going to tell you a secret. And I said, really? Okay, hold on. Marty just ran to chase a deer. Marty, they're bigger than you. It's not going to happen. She said, what? She goes, so just pull up your car. Do you want to know how excited I was? Oh my gosh. I said, wait a minute. She goes, yeah, anywhere. She showed me a map. And she goes, anywhere along this road. She gave me the exact place and said, pull over your vehicle and enjoy yourself. No one's going to bug you and it's safe. I was like, she goes, because I hate to tell you, because the closest place was going to be far away. And she felt bad for me because she said I was so nice. She kept saying that, you're so nice. She goes, don't tell anyone I told you this, but you're just so nice. Now, I didn't know I was being nice. I was just being how I normally act. Oh, and she also noticed that I was wearing a shirt that says Hoover Dam, because you guys know I've been doing I did a lot of traveling since 2019, and I'm wearing my Hoover Dam shirt, and she noticed that shirt. She goes, oh, where'd you go? And I said, Hoover Dam. And she thought that was really cool. She was just a nice person, and because originally when she was talking to me, she told me the place I had to go was going to be about 45 minutes away, and then she can't promise that they're going to have a campsite. So I didn't have to pay stupid $35 a night, which I really didn't want to pay, because why should I pay to camp when I don't need any of your amenities? I'd rather just boondock. But the reason why, because I heard the Lord clearly tell me, go to this place and get a campsite. And I was like, God, that defeats the purpose. We don't want to spend money on a campsite. He goes, what do you mean we? He goes, yeah, we do. So, Marty, come. Yeah, so. Hello.
Hi. Beautiful morning.
Isn't it? Okay. So, anyway, I obeyed. First of all, I was offended that he told me to go camping on a day that I was exhausted and did another assignment that was really hard. I asked him, please, can I do it Saturday, not Friday? Not Friday night. He said no, so I obeyed. Secondly, there were no campsites open, and I didn't even want to do a campsite. I'm like, why can't I just boondock somewhere else? No, you're not doing that. You're going to this place. And see, this is where he wanted me, in this beauty, because he knew he was going to make a way for me. But I was willing to pay, I was willing to obey, and I got the most beautiful spot along the side of a road where hardly anyone was driving by. That woman was right. Starting around 8 or 9, nobody was driving by. It's beautiful, it's safe, it's quiet, close to city stuff. So that was the favor on my life, because I obeyed and was willing to do stuff that I thought was stupid, that the Lord was telling me to do. But I was like, I was blessed. I didn't have to pay $35 a night to camp on a spot that I don't need. So God, you're so good. We trust you, Lord, for everything. We love you. That's my testimony I'm ending with. The Lord told me it's going to be exhausting to, and it has been, to help the bride with broken wings, to be physically boots on the ground doing it. So he's preparing me to camp and get away. He's telling me he wants me to get away and be able to escape and to be with him. And so I'm obeying. This is my first act of obedience. I did it before for 3 nights when my mom was at the hospital. I prayed and interceded for her and slept in the van for 3 nights like he told me and fasted. And that all worked out perfect. So anyway, that's just a little bit of what I'm doing. God bless you. If you want to give to the Bride with a Broken Wing Fund so I can help these broken wing brides, help mend their wings and boots on the ground, buying them groceries, helping them fix their cars. There's just a lot to do, ministering, being there. Spirit, helping as God leads me.